Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakkhurinimiletam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jana Bhutale Soyam Rūpa Kadāmayam Dadāti Swapadantikam Tandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaisnavanam Cha Shri Rūpam Sagrajatam Saghana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Hirat Padan Saghana Raditam Shri Visakam Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpatarivasya Kurpa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanabhya Vaishnavya Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasat Desa Tarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, today we are going to talk about very important subject matter, which is called um the apex of Gaudiya philosophy. It's the highest philosophical discussion of Gaudiya philosophy, and also it's the Vedic literature, also the highest principle of Vedic literature. Today is Ramananda-samvada. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught the bhakti call to Sanātana Gosvāmī. He also taught to bhakti call to the principle of bhakti to Rūpa Gosvāmī. And also he taught to Bhagavad Gita to, essence of Bhagavad Gita to Swarupa Prakashananda Saraswati and others, but particularly Bhattacharya. So, but the conversation between Ramananda Raya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the bank of Godavari, the highest, the apex, the highest point of philosophical discussion of Vedanta Sutra or Vedas, because it deals with the ultimate goal of life, of particularly the human form of life. So therefore, these topics bears paramount importance for the devotees, for the follower of Gaudiya, and for everyone for that matter. So today we are going to discuss about what is the ultimate goal of life. And particularly this kind of knowledge is very much imperative to understand. Without understanding this tattva, what is called sadhya-tattva. Sadhya means ultimate goal of life. Sadhya-sadhana-tattva. This Ramananda-samvada, the discussion between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Raya, a great devotee, at the bank of Godavari, that is the highest point, philosophical point, because it presents the sadhya-sadhana-tattva. Sadhya means ultimate goal of life. Sadhana means the devotional practice or method, how to attain that goal. Therefore, this subject matter is very much inevitable, imperative for every student of spiritual seeker to understand the real ultimate goal of life. Therefore, it is stated, before we start, we should understand that this kind of knowledge is very much important for everyone to know it, because it is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam that Ayur Harati by Punsam Udyam Astam Cha Annesu Tasyartya Karanitya Uttam Sloka Bhartaya. So, if you do not hear all these spiritual things, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these very important subject matter, then what will happen? We will be dragged towards the death both by rising and setting sun. Because when every sun rises, it decreases or it plunders the duration of life for everyone. Supposing I am going to live for 100 years, for example, tomorrow I am going to live 1 day less because 1 day is gone. But only person, Shastra say, his life duration of life cannot be decreased, cannot be plundered by the sun. He cannot be dragged towards the death. Who is that person? That person who utilizes the time by discussing the topics of all good personality of God. Tasyate Kinanitya Uttama Sloka Bhartaya. So those who are discussing this kind of important topics of ultimate good of life, they are not dragged to death, but they are dragged towards Krishna, towards the eternal life, towards the ultimate goal of life. Therefore, the discussion of this kind of topics is paramount important for the devotees, and who do not utilize his time citing the lame excuses that I am encumbered in temple service, I am encumbered in occupation. They will lose the opportunity to go back to Godhead. They are not. Prabhupada condemned them. Shastra also condemned them in many verses. They are called neophyte devotee who deliberately avoid to understand the Shastra. They are called prakata bhakta, neophyte, very beginner. They have stagnated, their bhakti will be stagnated without hearing. Therefore, Shastra say, Siddhanta boliye chitte na karo alasa, ya hoite. There's a beautiful verse stated that Siddhanta boliye, do not try to skip thinking that, oh, it is very, why should I learn, why should I hear? No, one must hear. This is a very nice verse. It says that Siddhanta boliye chitte na karo alasa, ya hoite Krishna lage sudhuddha manasa. Anyone trying, so this so-called sentiment, no, I am putting tilak, I am in Krishna consciousness movement for so many years, I have got love for Krishna. The so-called bhava is actually, the sentiment comes after the knowledge. After understanding, if you do not understand what is Krishna, what is the ultimate goal of life, then the so-called sentiment has no value. The bhava will come after this. So therefore, devotees should not skip this hearing the importance of studying the Shastra. Anyone trying to become fully Krishna consciousness must know the Lord's glories as far as possible to understand. Siddhanta boliye chitte nakara alasa. You should not be lazy. Because this transcendental knowledge is the highest attainment. Lord Shiva says that this is the highest attainment. श्रेयसम इह सर्वेशम ज्ञानम निःश्रेयसम परम सुखम तरति दुष्परम ज्ञान नो व्यासना निर्नामम. In the material world, there are different type of achievement, but all of them achievement of knowledge is considered to be the highest, because one can cross the ocean of nescience only on the boat of knowledge. Otherwise, the ocean is impassable. This knowledge is not a speculative knowledge or a mundane knowledge. This knowledge is devotional knowledge. It will strengthen our faith, our conviction for the Lord. Therefore, one should not avoid studying Shastra, discussing Shastra. So today we are going to discuss about the very important, what is the ultimate goal of life. Why it is important? Because without going to, supposing I am flying, how long I can fly? How long I can go some place? I have to stop somewhere. That is called ultimate goal of life. So without ultimate goal of life, our life is useless. Asitim chaturas chaiva lakshana. Because we do not know our ultimate goal of life, therefore Shastra say, you do not know what is goal of life. We are moving. You have no destination. Supposing somebody is going somewhere, but he do not know his destination, he will be roaming without any shelter. So therefore it is said that asitim chaturas chaiva lakshana tan jiva jatisu. We have been rotting and rotating from one species to another species. 8.4 million species. Brahmadvihi means transmigrating. We are transmigrating. There is no stoppage from one species. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jastra. Why? Because we do not know the ultimate goal of life. Therefore, it is very much paramount, important, significant to know what is the ultimate goal of life. That is questioned by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu toured. He was touring to South India, and he went to Vidyanagar. There is a place called Vidyanagar at the bank of Godavari. There you can see also Simachalam, Nrsingadev also. So he went to there to see the Nrsinga deities, and there, that place is also there, Rajmandri. Now it's called Rajmandri. So he went to Godavari, at the bank of the river Godavari, for taking bath. There he met a devotee which was recommended by Sarvabhaumya Bhattacharya. That devotee is a governor of that area, because under the administration of King Prataparudra Dev Orissa, his jurisdiction extended to Andhra also. And there is a place called Vidyanagar where he deployed his assistant called Ramananda Raya, who happens to be a great devotee of the Lord. Not only that, he stated that he is a Visakha Devi, a dearmost friend of Radharani. So Raya Ramananda Raya, a governor, he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu broke all social convention because he is a sannyas. But on the other hand, Raya Ramananda is a viceroy or governor, but Sudra family. He broke all convention but meet this Ramananda Raya. Why? Because he knew he is Krsna himself. He is not a so-called sannyas, Brahmana sannyas. He is Krsna himself, and the Ramananda Raya is a Visakha Devi, dearmost devotee of, dearmost friend of Radharani. So they are discussing about the ultimate goal of life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking, very nice, starting with this 857, is asking the Ramananda Raya, Krishna ye sadhana, 857. So he is starting with Madhya. So here it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, Prabhu kahe padho sloka sadhyera nirnaya Raya kahe swadharma acharane Vishnu bhakti hoy. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the conversation started with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu order Ramananda Raya recite a verse from revealed scripture concerning the ultimate goal of life. Do not just speculate. In Vaishnava culture, in Vedic culture, our propositions should be backed up or corroborated, confirmed by Vedic statement. You cannot just manufacture, according to my opinion, according to what I think. No. Here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, now recite a verse, you have to give the Vedic statement, Vedic evidence. What is the ultimate goal of life? And Ramananda Raya replied, with Vedic evidence, if one executes prescribed duty of his social position, he awakens his original consciousness. So he quoted these verses. That he quoted a beautiful verses from Padma Purana. That Padma Purana, he quoted very nice verses. Vannasrama charavata purusena parha puman Vishnu raradhyata pantha nanya toso karana. So the first thing he proposed, that ultimate goal of life, to maintain the Vannasrama. What is this Varna Ashrama Dharma? Varna and Ashrama. They are social. Varna means social division and spiritual division. There are 4 social divisions: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and 4 spiritual divisions: Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. So this, all the Varnashrams, actually human life begins with the Varnashrama system. Varnashrama system is very regulated process, prescribed duty. Otherwise, if it's an animal society, they do not have this Varnashrama dharma. Dharma eka adeka vishesha, dharma nahi na possibly saman. So human civilization is more greater, exalted than animal society, because it distinct and distinguished from one point. What is that? Varnashrama dharma. This Varnashrama dharma means we have to do our prescribed duty. Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by proper education of prescribed duty in the system of Varnashrama. There is no other way to satisfy Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must be situated in institution of 4 Varnas and Ashrama. The Varnashrama system is very scientific. Just like we have a brain, we have a mouth, we have a belly, we have a leg, we have an arm. So different part is doing different things. So they are doing all prescribed duty. So therefore this Varnashrama system is very much imperative, and it's the beginning of the human civilization. And when we adhere to the responsibility ordained by the scripture of the social and spiritual activities, spiritual division, because everybody has got some kind of prescribed duty. Brahmana has got prescribed duty. Just like it is stated very nicely, Brahmana has special duty. How he is, what is the special duty of Brahmana? That is stated in these beautiful verses by Prahlad Maharaj, so Narada Muni. Narada Muni say that Brahmanas, the symptoms of Brahmana are control of the mind, control of the senses, austerity, penance, cleanliness, satisfaction, forgiveness, simplicity, knowledge, mercy, truthfulness, complete surrender to Supreme Personality. This is symptoms of Brahmana. So Brahmana is not by the birth, by the caste, by the birth. No. Krishna says, Guna Karma Vyagasa. You should have a qualification and symptoms, qualities. These are the qualities. Guna and karma. Karma means Brahmana are meant to do Pathana, Pathana, Jajana, Jajana, Dana, Pratikriya. Pathana, Pathana means studying the Vedic scripture, preaching the Vedic scripture, teaching it, Pathana, Pathana. Jajana are doing Jagya himself and doing Jagya for others. Dana, Pratikriya, accepting charity, giving charity. These are the activities, prescribed duty, prescribed activities of the Brahmanas. So, and like this, Kshatriya has got prescribed, everybody has this prescribed duty. The whole idea of the prescribed duty, Varnashrama Dharma, is to come to the point of worshipping the Vishnu, so that gradually they will develop, come to the point of spiritual platform. So therefore, Varnashrama system is a very systematic process, that if anybody adhere, then by doing the prescribed directives given by the Shastra, then it is possible to attain the qualification to the platform of devotional service to the Lord Vishnu. So dharma acharana, everybody has to do his own duty. Brahmachari has to do own duty. Grihastha has to do his own duty. Vanaprastha. In this way, they will come to the platform of devotional service. This is called Swadharma or Varnashrama Dharma. So everybody has to maintain his Swadharma. Therefore, it is said that even the Bhagavatam say that whole idea of this Varnashrama Dharma to Vishnu Ataha Punbir Dijosreshta Varnashrama Vyagasa Sanutisya Dharmasa Samsiddhir Haritosana. O boy, best among twice born, it is therefore concluded that highest perfection one can achieve by discharging duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to the caste division order of life to please the personality of God. Whole idea to hurry was to please it. Everybody has his own division, like head, brain, intelligence. R means administration, to protect the citizen. Kshatriyas are meant to protect citizens. Brahmanas are meant to guide the Kshatriyas, guide everybody. They are spiritual master of all other divisions, uh, all other divisions, social divisions. Brahmana. And Vaishyas are meant to do agriculture, cow protection, providing food, grains. Then Sudras are meant to do the menial work in the service of all other three. They are called uh, they are meant to do the working class. So that is the system, Vedic system. But Mahaprabhu, although this Vedic system is very much suitable for a systematic elevation of the human being to the ultimate goal of life, that is spiritual platform. But at this present moment, in this age of Kali, Kalu Sudra Sambhava, it is not possible in Kali. Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to restore and revive the Varnashram, because nobody is adhering to their prescribed duty. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood. Therefore, he told it is not real substance. It is external Vaya. It is not real substance. It is not possible to revive. Even Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati tried to revive that. Prabhupada made the Gita Nagari. There are so many other things, but everything was now topsy-turvy. Nothing worked out. Varnashram idea. Because Kalu Sudra Sambhava. Very difficult to train them in Varnashram system. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected this. He rejected. He told, no. It is not, it is Bahya. It is external. Something better you told. And this Varnashram system also has nothing to do with the devotional platform. Nothing to do with constitutional thing. It is like Sakama. Sakama means you do the work, get the result, and you bring the God, Krsna, or pray for your material ameliorating or augmenting your material conditioning. It is nothing to do with your constitutional position as a spirit soul, engaging in the pure devotional service. No. This is the material platform. This is Sakama Mishra Bhakti. You want to satisfy Krishna, ultimate goal, just for your social status, enhancing your social status, augmenting or ameliorating your social status. Therefore, this is not real substances. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, "Ehe bhaya age kaha ara raya kahe Krishna karma arpana sarva sadhyera." So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, "This is external. You had better tell me of some other means." Ramananda replied, "To offer the result of one activity to Krishna, the essence of all perfection." Then he quoted these verses. So Ramananda Raya given a second option, that everybody doing prescribed duty as a Varnashrama, but the result of that activity, supposing Brahmanas, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Sannyas, the result of their activity, if it is offered to the Supreme Lord, then that is the perfection. That is the second point, second option, second answer, that this is the ultimate goal of life. So he quoted beautiful verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Yat karosi yadasnasi yad jahosi dadasyat yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kuru samadarpanam. So here it is said that Ramananda Raya continue, "My dear son of Kunti, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in the sacrifice, whatever you give in charity, and whatever austerity you perform, all the results of such activities should be offered to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God." So Lord has said that Varnashram Dharma is not properly executed in the age of Kali. Therefore, he ordered Ramananda Raya to go further into matter. Ramananda Raya replied with the verse Bhagavad Gita 9:27, which instructs while remaining in the system of Varnashrama, one may offer the result of his activity to the Lord Sri Krishna in loving service. Naturally, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking Ramananda Raya about the execution of devotional service. Ramananda Raya first enunciated the principle of Varnashrama in consideration of materialistic people. However, this conception is not transcendental. As long as one is in the material world, one must follow the principle of Varnashrama dharma, but devotional service is transcendental. The system of Varnashrama refers to the three modes of material nature, but transcendental devotional service is absolute path. So here, very important point. The Varnashrama is a material platform because they are praying people do the Durga Puja, this ritual, that rituals. What for? First, for only the purpose of to elevate materially. They have nothing to do with spiritual, devotional service. Nothing to do with transcendental platform. But this is the beginning. It's a systematic present because materialistic people, they have no other idea. They do not know what is ultimate goal of life. They do not know what is the transcendental platform. Therefore, the Varnashrama system is the beginning of human civilization, inducing them to gradually, systematically come to the platform of devotional service. But in this age of Kali, it is not possible. Therefore, Mahaprabhu rejected. Then, Ramananda Raya proposed that even in Varnashrama system, somebody is there. If it is offered the activities, offered the fruit to the Lord, then it is perfection. Because it is a karma misra bhakti. The bhakti is there because you are offering something to Krishna. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also he quoted from Bhagavad Gita, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected. Why he rejected? The karma misra bhakti is called what do you call niskama karma yoga. Yat karosi yat dasnasi yajyosi dadasya. So it is a niskama karma yoga. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, "Eya bhayo age kara." It is external. Why he say external? Because this is still in a material platform. Although you are offering to the Krishna, niskama karma yoga, but there is nothing called bhakti here. Therefore, this niskama karma yoga, karma misra bhakti is not so here, because according to although it is a suddha niskama karma yoga because you are offering the result, but you will be awarded to your action according to your injunction of Shastra. That is also is particularly should be adhered to injunction of scripture, not that ordinary eating, you eating meat and offer to the Lord. That is not ordinary drinking habit. That is not included in this. According to Shastra, if you do and Krishna karma upon to offer the result of one activity to Krishna, then that is better than Varnashrama system. But it is not bhakti prabhu, not sarupa siddha bhakti. No. Because still the bhakti is mixed with desire to enjoy the Buddha. Karma misra. You are still in the platform of material activity. So therefore, it is not a very pure bhakti, like direct bhakti, sarvanam kirtanam. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected this karma arpana. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, you tell me something else better. Then Ramananda Raya said, Sarva dharman parija, so dharma tyaga ei sadhyera. Ramananda Raya replied, to give up one's occupational duty in the Varnashram system is the essence of perfection. Oh, he told better than Varnashram system is not working. Even in the because it's a material platform, you want something so common. When niskama also, you want to give up your activities, result of the activities to the Lord, that is also to meant for some kind of desire. You have some desire also. You are giving something, you are taking the coconut, or you are offering the banana to the Lord and expecting a Rolls Royce BMW. That is also not good, not pure. This comes from karma misra bhakti, adulterated bhakti. Then he told better you, the third proposal given by Ramananda Raya, that the perfection is when you swadharma tyaga. Swadharma tyaga means sarva dharman parityaga. Chaitanya, the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman parityaga mame ekam saranam. You give up everything, varnashram system also. Simply surrender. So dharma tyaga. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada is writing, a Brahmana may renounce his family, accept sannyas. Other Kshatriya Vaishya may also give up their family, take to Krishna consciousness. Such renunciation is called karma tyaga. By such renunciation, Supreme Personality of God is satisfied. In contrast, the process of renouncing result of one activity by offering this result to Krishna is not considered uncontaminated. Because although such a process implies that one recognizes Krishna as Supreme Personality, it still involves one in activity on the material platform. See, when you working on a material platform, whether you give the fruit of your activities or you do not give the fruit of your activities, still it is material platform. Either it is varnashrama or it is karma, still it is material platform. But here in this proposal, he is telling you give up this material platform. So dharma tagya, give up. Since such activity are within the material universe, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considers them external. To correct this, Ramananda Raya recommended that one take to the renounced order of life in order to transcend the material activity. This is supported by following verses. The beautiful verses 11, 11, 32, which is quoted actually, which is quoted in the next verse only quoted. So here Krishna spoke to Uddhava that occupational duty are described in the religious scripture. If one analyze them, he can carefully understand their quality, fault, and given them up completely to render service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a person is considered first class man. So here Krishna himself say that the so-called dharma, you give up. Even there is a beautiful verses in beautiful quote from the Raghunatha Gosvāmī in Manasika. Dharma or adharma, I do not want. I want just to surrender. So here it is saying that whether it is dharma, adharma, so dharma, parityaga. You do not link with material things. Give them completely and render service. That is the very first class thing. Sarva dharman parityaga mam ekam saranam bhaja om tvam sarva papebhyo mukhyasam. That is first class, better. No connection with material things. Give up all the things. So-called ashrama dharma, so-called prescribed things, prescribed dharmas. In this connection, Raghunatha Gosvāmī instructed in his book Manasikya, na dharmam Shruti gana niruktam kilakuru braje radha Krishna prachura parichayam ihata. He has thus enjoined that we should not perform religious, irreligious activities prescribed in Veda. The best course is to engage always in the service of Radharani. So that is the perfection of everything in this life. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam also it is said, Narada Muni, that when one actually takes to the loving service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, this is the 429-46 verse. He gives up all duty in the material world as well as the duty prescribed in Vedic literature. In this way, one is fixed in the service of the Lord. Still, it is far better, very nice. You doesn't have to do anything to do with material things. But Prabhu kahe eho bhaya age kaho ara. Prabhu, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, still rejected this proposal. Why? This proposition is rejected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He told, go ahead, something better. So why it is rejected? it is stated that this Sarvadharman Parityaja is a very good platform, but it is not actually and this is just a doorway to bhakti. Doorway. Now you give up material platform, you are coming to the doorway to spiritual platform. You have not actually entered to the direct service, Ravanam, Kirtanam, Visvambhar. You are just on the doorway to. You are just following the process. Anukulyana, what is that? These 6 symptoms of Saranagati. What is that? Anukulyana sankalpa pratikulyana varjama rakishyati vishwasa goptatte varanam tata atmanikepya karpanya sadvida saranagati. So these 6 symptoms, this 6 division of surrender are acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service. Therefore you are rejected the material thing, rejection of unfavorable thing, conviction that Krsna will be protection, acceptance of the Lord as one guardian master, full self-surrender and humility. These are the process of Saranagati. That means you are doorway to spiritual platform. But you are not just like in a building. I am at the door, I am not in the room. So you are not in the room, therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says it is external. It is external and we should go beyond that. You should go beyond this external thing. Actually, one of this teaching of Chaitanya Chaitamutta, very nicely Prabhupada said that in this age of Kali, there is no possibility of acquiring spiritual knowledge by discharging one duty from us. Because everything topsy-turvy. And not by devotional service mixed with foodie activities. I am offering banana, you give me BMW. No. Or by renunciation. No, it is not possible. Although, because we have no time to elevate the society by a gradual process. Kali Yuga, everybody fallen. Kalo Asmin Yuga Jana, Alpayus, everybody has a short life. Everybody is disturbed, everybody is misdirected, everybody is lazy. Manda Sumanda Mataya, Manda Bhagyopad. The symptoms of people of Kali Yuga is very, very bad, precarious, very miserable. Then, therefore, there is no time for this elevating them in a very systematical process. It takes time. We have no time. Any time we can die. The best course according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is this conversation. Therefore, it is very important to understand this point. So, we will go to the next point. The 3 things is rejected. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking that you give me something else. So, Ramananda Raya say that Jnana Mishra Bhakti sadhya-sadhana. He told that another option, another statement, another solution, that Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Karma Mishra Bhakti is rejected. Now Jnana Mishra Bhakti. After hearing Ramananda Raya speak in this way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again rejected his statement and said, go ahead, say something more. Ramananda Raya then replied, devotional service mixed with empiric knowledge is the essence of perfection. So here Ramananda Raya is suggesting or proposition, giving a proposition that devotional service mixed with non-Vedic speculative knowledge is certainly not pure devotional service. Therefore, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in his Anubhasya preaches that self-realization following the execution of ritualistic ceremony is the neutral stage between revelation and conditional life. It is a place beyond the material world, in the river Viraja, where there is 3 modes of material nature are subdued or neutralized. So he is telling about, no, this is not actually pure. Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Without such spiritual knowledge, so we have some positive activities must be there. Simply understanding that bhakti is not important. Simply understanding from spiritual point of view, it is all external. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected this proposal, Ramananda Raya suggests that devotional service based on philosophy and logic is more advanced position. He therefore quoted the verses Brahma Bhutta Prasanatma na sochati na kankati samo sarva bhuteshu madabhaktim labate param. Ramananda Raya says that according to the Bhagavad Gita, one who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman, becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, it attains pure devotional service. He is telling that in Brahmabhutta platform, when one is coming to Jnana Mishra Bhakti, understanding that Aham Brahmasmi, I am nothing to do with material platform. He is better, he is highest. In this verse, Bhagavad Gita, it is said that person who accepts the theory of monism, being always engaged in empiric philosophical discussion about spiritual life, becomes joyful and is relieved from material contamination, lamentation, hankering. At this stage, one is equipoised. He sees all living entity as spiritual being. After attaining this elevated stage, one can attain pure devotional service. The conclusion is that devotional service mixed with ritualistic fruitive activity is inferior to spiritual service based on empiric decision. So Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that this Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur say that why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected. This is a very nice platform because Brahma Buddha state, you are in Brahmasmi platform. You have transcended. Bhakti Bhavichayena Bhakti Yogena Sevata Sagunam Samatitaitam Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpati. You are in Brahma Buddha. You are not in Jiva Buddha. You transcend the material nature. You transcend all contamination. It's a very higher stage than Karma Mishra Bhakti. You are not in material platform. And in that platform you are very joyful. You are ready to perform devotional service. But why it is rejected? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in his Anubhasya commentary, he says that the stage of devotional service mixed with speculative knowledge is also external, not within the jurisdiction of pure devotional service as practiced in Vaikuntha Loka. As soon as there is some conception of materialistic thought, be it positive or negative, the service is not spiritual. It may be free from material contamination, but because there is a mental speculation, the devotional service is not pure, freed from the contamination of material life. A living entity who wants to be completely pure must be above this material conception. The negation of material existence does not necessarily mean spiritual existence. After material existence is negated, spiritual existence, namely Sachidananda, still may not be manifested. Until one comes to the stage of actually understanding one eternal relationship with God, he cannot enter into spiritual. So here it is said that a person who has got this bhakti mixed with speculative knowledge, understanding that I am the spirit soul, is negating this material existence. But still it is external because it has a conception of material. Negation of material existence does not mean that spiritual existence. Just like example Prabhupada used to give. I have discharged from the hospital. That does not mean that I am healthy. My really healthy status will come when I work, I do. I am pure from disease. That is fine. Similarly, negation of material existence, like Brahma Buddha platform, is not a spiritual existence. Spiritual life means understanding that our, what you say, Swarupa, that I am the eternal servant of Krsna, I have to engage in the Krishna service. Spiritual life means becoming detached from material life and engaging in the loving service of the Lord. That is real spiritual life. Not that simply I am detached from material existence or material life. Does not mean that spiritual life. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say it is external, it is not ultimate. Go ahead, tell me something more. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda to explain something transcendental to devotional service mixed with speculative knowledge. It is still not a transcendental knowledge, some mixed, some conception, material conception is there, because speculative knowledge. A pure devotee is completely surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. Only by his love does conquer the Krishna, who cannot be conquered by anyone. Krishna always stands victorious over everything. No one can conquer it. One can attain the stage of pure devotional service simply by surrender. The next corroborated by Srimad Bhagavatam 10:43, when Brahma defeated by the potency of Sri Krishna, fully surrendered. Brahma also said that the platform of speculative knowledge and bhakti is not the highest platform. They may fall down because there is a material consumption everywhere. There is no service here. You can see this verses, there is no service. No, still there is no spiritual service. Therefore, highest thing given, Ramananda Raya quoted these verses, that jnana prayasa udapasa namante eva jivanti sanmukharita bhavadiya vartam stane stita sutigatam tanumanavit ye prayasa jita jita sit traloka. So this point Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed when he quoted these verses by Brahma, that Lord Brahma said, my dear Lord, those devotees who have thrown away impersonal conception of absolute, no more jnana visvambhar, throw jnana sunya, no more jnana visvambhar, dead speculative knowledge, no, have therefore abandoned discussing empiric philosophy to should hear from self-realized devotee about your holy name, form, pastime, quality. They should completely follow the principle of devotional service, remain free from illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, animal shelter, surrendering them fully with body, word, mind. They can live in any ashram or social status. Indeed, you are conquered by such person, although you are always unconquerable. Very, very nice. So no need of all this karma, varnasrama system, karma, mishra, bhakti, renounce, become a sannyas. No, become jnana, mishra, bhakti, speculative knowledge, I am Brahmasmi. No. Simply you give up everything. Sthane sthita suti katha, wherever you are, you hear Krishna katha, Hari katha. Simply by hearing, you can conquer which is not conquerable. You can conquer the unconquerable, Lord. Jita jita prayasa. Yap prayasa jita jita. You can conquer the unconquerable, Lord. That is the process. Simply hearing. Therefore, I always, Prabhupada always, Shastra always very emphatically insist that devotees should hear. Hearing and chanting from a bona fide source, from a disciplic successor, is the very, very authentic process to go back to Godhead, to conquer the Lord. Conquer the Lord. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard the verses, the statement from the Ramananda Raya about the Jnana Sunya Bhakti, no more Jnana Sunya Bhakti, by hearing Ramananda Raya source, he told, Eho hoye, age kaho aro ra. He told, yeah, hoye. He never say, Eha bhaya. It is not external. Yeah, it is accepted. But something else you can go deeper. Prema Bhakti Sarva Sadhya-sadhana-tattva. At this point, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, this is all right, but still you can speak more on this subject. Ramananda Raya then replied, ecstatic love for Supreme Personality of God is the essence of all perfection. That is important. Radha Krishna na bhajiya janiya suniya. So our Radha Krishna, our whole idea is to develop the love for Radha Krishna. That is the essence of everything. The science of rasa, highest point. In his Amrit Prabha Vasya Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur summarized that conversation up to this point where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, Ramananda Raya, ya hoye aga ka, this is the process accepted in devotional service. But there is something more than this. Therefore, please explain what is beyond. Simply executing duty of Varnasrama is not as good as offering all result to one's activity to the Lord. One gives up all fruitive activity and fully surrendered to the Lord. He attains Swadharma Tyaga, wherein abandon social order takes to the renounced order. That is certainly better. However, better than renounced order is cultivation of knowledge mixed with devotional service. Yet all these activities are external to the activity of spiritual world. There is no touch of pure devotional service in them. So spiritual world is pure devotional. No more speculative, no more fixed. Pure. So pure devotional service cannot be attained by empiric philosophy, nor can be perfection be attained simply by good association. Devotional service by self-realization is a different subject matter. It is untouched by fruitive activity in which one surrenders the result of one's activity to the Lord, and also by the process of abandoning one prescribed duty and accepting renounced order of life. Such devotional service is also situated on a higher platform than that of empiric philosophical speculation, with mixture of both. So real thing is annaya vilasita sunyam. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably without desire of material profit or gain through fruitive activity or philosophical speculation. This is called pure devotional service. So Ramananda Raya is giving this prema bhakti so sarva sadhya-sara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually accepted this verse jnana prayasam as the basic principle of sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti start with Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Sadhana. Here first. When you mature, one has to practice this principle in order to make further progress. When further progress is actually made, one comes to the platform of ecstatic love of service to the Krishna. This is the first stage, is technically called sadhana bhakti or devotional service in practice. The result of sadhana bhakti must be ecstatic love, bhava bhakti. So when one has to come to the bhava bhakti, first basic principle is sadhana bhakti, accepted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is starting with hearing about Krishna Katha. Then when it matures, then it will come to the bhava. Actually the purpose of sadhana bhakti to come to the stage of bhava bhakti, which is the ultimate perfection, ultimate goal of life. The new 5 stages sadhana bhakti include faith, association of devotee, preaching devotional service, practicing devotional service. Thus one is free from all unwanted things. One then becomes fixed in devotional service, increases his desire to act in devotional service. The desire to act in devotional service. Thus one becomes attached to the Lord is devotional service. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that Ramananda Raya telling that first principle is you to hear sadhana bhakti. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asking, give deeper. Deeper means you have to develop the ecstatic love. That will be process. Adau Shraddha, first of all faith, association of devotee sadhu sangha, Madhana Kriya. Madhana Kriya means initiated by spiritual master and following the regulative principle. Then come to the anartha nirvidisad, unwanted thing. All unwanted thing will come, destroy, disappear. Then we will be fixed of nistha. Then there is a taste will come. In your 5 steps there is no taste, flickering taste. Then attachment, then bhava, until the highest point. Bhava is the onset of the starting point of prema. Just like a dawn. The morning dawn is called the onset of the morning. Similarly, bhava onset of prema. That is the highest point. So Ramananda Raya is telling how to achieve this. As long as there is a hunger and thirst within the stomach, varieties of food and drink make feel very happy. Similarly, when the Lord is worshipped with pure love, the various activities performed in the course of that worship awaken transcendental peace in the heart of the devotee. So when the maturation of sadhana bhakti comes, when you are hankering to what? Oh, I want to go to I want to serve the Lord, I want to see the Lord, I want to hear about the Lord, I want to chant the name of the Lord. That hankering should be done. Just like when there is stomach, when I'm hungry, I have a hankering to eat food, prasadam. Similarly, when you have this hankering for the Lord's service, then you are in a bhava. This is quoted from the Padmavali 12 and 13. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatam jadi kutabi labhyate tatra laulyam api mulyam ekalam janma koti sukriti nalabhyate. Pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness cannot be had even by past activity in 100 and 1,000 of life. It can be attained only by paying one price, that is intense greed to obtain it. If it is available somewhere, one must purchase it without it. So this is the thing. You have to have an intense greed for this. I want this, I want it. That intense greed will come when you properly following the regulative principle of sadhana bhakti. Then the intense greed automatically appears. That automatically appears. That I want, that intense greed. Rasa bhavitamati, lolyam miyati. That lolyam will come. I want devotion, I want pure devotion. That will intense greed. Then we can obtain. Now our intense greed is not there because we have some attachment is there. But still we have so many greed also for material. We have greed for spiritual thing, material thing. This is all missed now. We are still in anartha nirviti platform. We are still not cross the unwanted habit. Contamination, infection is there. When you cross it, come to the taste, nista and asakti, then ruchi and asakti, then you will be hankering, I want, greed, intense greed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this, Prabhupada is writing, see, the first is devotional service rendered in accordance with regulative principle, that is sadhana bhakti. Second is spontaneous loving service, Lord, without extraneous endeavor. Henceforward, basic principle of underlying talks between Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Raya will be spontaneous loving service to the Lord. That is the basic principle. Highest goal of life is to develop the spontaneous loving service to the Lord. Bhava bhakti. The regulative principle according to injunction of Shastra are necessary insofar as one's original dormant Krishna consciousness is not spontaneously awakened. An example of spontaneous action is the flowing of river into the ocean. Nothing can stop this flow of water. Similarly, once dormant Krishna consciousness is awakened, it spontaneously flow to the lotus feet of Krishna without impediment. Whatever will be spoken henceforth by Ramananda Raya based on spontaneous love will be agreeable to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord will ask him more and more. After that, Mahaprabhu is agreed to the point that this is the highest point, spontaneous love. All other point is about the more deeper of the spontaneous love. What is the nature of spontaneous love? The science of rasa, science of that, spontaneous ecstatic love. That is 5 rasas are there. What is that 5 rasa? Dasya, Santa Dasya. Santa rasa actually it is a neutral state. Therefore it is not considered as like a devotional service. Dasya rasa actually devotional service start with Dasya rasa. So Raya Ramananda is now continuing to speak about all these important rasa, Dasya rasa, Sakhya rasa, Vachalya rasa and conjugal Madhurya rasa. After Madhurya rasa also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, you go deeper. Then he is going more and more deeper to the point that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Raya, shut your mouth. I cannot hear beyond the silence, transcendental silence. So in this way, the discussion is going on. But for us, up to this point, the spontaneous, up to spontaneous love, that is the highest goal of, ultimate goal of life. This is all right. But if you know more, please tell me. In reply, Raya, spontaneous loving service in the servitude, there are different types of spontaneous love. In servitude, exchange by the master and servant is the highest perfection. Then he is going beyond. If you do the service like Hanuman, and you do the service like Dasya Prema, Arjun, Subala, Sridhama, this is, Arjun is Sakhya, Hanuman, then other also there, Chaitanya, Nectar of Devotion, there are so many other example has been given that how Dasya Rasa, Maharaj Ambrish also, he was Dasya Rasa. Jamnachari also speaking very nice. how when I will engage as a permanent eternal servant, joyful. There are so many other example of Dasya Rasa given in Nectar of Devotion. The Daruko is there. So many other names are given by Rupa Goswami, the assistant of Krishna. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, tell me more. Then he comes to Sakya Rasa. Sakya Rasa is more better than Dasya Rasa. Why? Because here it is saying that loving service rendered to the Lord in master-servant relationship, there is some fear, for the servant is always afraid of master, despite the intimacy of self-interest. But fear, afraid is there. Oh, maybe master will be, in this stage, servant is always afraid of the master, respectful of it, because servant is always respectful. When the devotee is further advanced, he has nothing to fear. He considers Lord himself on an equal level. At such time, devotee is fully convinced that Lord Krishna is a friend, cannot at all be dissatisfied if devotee lives with him on an equal level. This understanding is called Visvambhar, that is devoid of respectful attitude. When this attitude is chosen, it becomes Sakya Prema, or love of God and friendship. On this stage, there is a developed consciousness of equality between Lord and devotee. That is higher stage, Sakya Rasa. So this is, and Mahaprabhu is quoted beautiful verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Itam satam brahma sokhyabam. Neither those engaged in self-realization of appreciating the Brahman effulgence of the Lord, nor those engaged in devotional service were accepting Supreme Personality of God as his master, nor those under clutches of Maya thinking Lord an ordinary person can understand the certain exalted personality. After accumulating so many past activity, accumulating volume of past activity, are now playing with the Lord in friendship as cowherd boy. The cowherd boy, Śrī Rāmā, Subala, they are very exalted than the Dasya Rasa. They are Sakya Rasa without even respecting equal level. So they are very higher than this Dasya Rasa. Therefore, this is stated by Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 12, 11, this verse, that how Sukadeva Goswami appreciated the good fortune of the cowherd boys play with Krishna. They are better than the Dasya Rasa, better than the servant. They have no fear, they are thinking equal level. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, go higher. Higher with Vachala Prema. Vachala Prema means paternal love or parental love. Parental love, just like Yashoda Maya Nanda Maharaj. That is better than even Sakya Rasa. Why? Loving service to the Lord in the parental relationship is the highest perfectional stage. Stage of loving service to the Lord in parental affection is advanced from the stage of Lord in fraternity. In this fraternity relation, there is a sense of equality, but when that sense of equality is advanced in affection, one attains the platform of parental love. In this connection, the following verses is cited, wherein Maharaj Parikshit voices his appreciation of Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yashoda. Nayam Nandakim Akarod Brahman Shreyam Eva Mahodvayam Yashodava Mahabhaga Papojastanam Hari. Ramananda Raya continued, O Brahmana, what pious activity did Nanda Maharaj perform by which he received Supreme Personality of God and Krishna as his son? What pious activity did Mother Yashoda perform that made absolute Supreme Personality of God and called her mother? Shocker place. So, parental love is more than even Dasya Rasa, more than even Sakya Rasa. Why? Because it is affection. Lord is more than Dasya Rasa is not so good because there is no intimacy. There is a afraid, so the intimacy is not there that much. Sakya Rasa intimacy is there, but affection is not there. Advance more affection. Therefore, it is higher than that. Therefore, Chaitanya, you see, Krishna also is agreed to bound by Mother Yashoda. Nobody can bound Krishna, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, but he is bound by the Yashoda because of parental affection. Prabhu kahe ehi uttama age kahe, it's very perfect, very good. But tell me, Kanta Prema Sarva, tell me something deeper, more higher. So here, Lord said, your statements are certainly getting better and better one after the other. But surpassing all of them is another transcendental mellow. You can speak them as the most sublime. So Raya Ramananda say that the conjugal attachment for Krishna is the topmost position in love of God. General love of God is devoid of intimacy of ownership. In the love in servitude, there is a want of confidentiality. In the fraternal relationship, there is a want of increased affection. Because dasya rasa, there is no confidentiality. Because intimacy is not there, it is servitude, respect. But in fraternal relationship, friendship, in the fraternal relationship, friendship, there is a affection is not there. Equal level, what is this? And even when affection increases, is there, but not so increased affection. Not like Subala is not affection of Krishna, or Krishna is not affection of Subala. Affection is there, but not that increased affection. Just like Yashoda Maya, always worried about Krishna, always anxious about, so much affectionate. Increases in the parental relationship. There is nonetheless want of complete freedom. Complete freedom is not there in bachelor's. When it becomes to conjugal love, Krishna is everything, conjugal lover of Krishna, everything lacking in the other relationship is complete. Confidentiality is there, affection is there, freedom is there. Bachelor's, there is no freedom. Yashoda will not say, Krishna, you are not my son. Neither Krishna will say, you are not my mother. Of course, sometimes he chastises, but never give up. Never, turn away. But in conjugal love, everything is possible. Everything is there. Confidentiality there. Fraternity there. Freedom also there. Sometimes Radharani was very angry with Krishna. Chandravali, Radha, the gopis are angry with Krishna. They will want to love Krishna. Krishna will be begging. So that freedom is there. So therefore, love of God lacks nothing in the conjugal state. Summary of this verse is that parental love of God is certainly higher than fraternal love. That conjugal love is higher, yet it was when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested Ramananda to go further that come to the point of conjugal relationship, which is the highest proportion of sadhya. So this is the highest. Even this Lakshmi and all, they do not have this opportunity. So he quoting so many verses that how it is the highest. These are all the transcendental process. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here is telling, it is true that whatever relationship a particular devotee has with Lord is the best for it. Still, when you study all different methods from a neutral position, we can understand that there are higher and lower degrees. So that means the highest thing is that conjugal love of the Lord. To develop the love of Radha Krishna as conjugal love, the highest platform. That when you develop the love for Krishna, that is the highest attainment. That is highest. So this is the ultimate goal of life is prema mumartama. How to develop the love for Krishna. That is the highest. There is nothing beyond this. And that is the goal of life. Krishna also say, Yam labdacha parama labha. That is the highest goal. Even in these verses, Krishna also spoke to Uddhava that bhaktim labdhavat sadhava kim anyad avishesate. What more remains to be accomplished for the perfect devotee after achieving devotional service unto the Supreme Absolute? So there is nothing beyond that is highest one. Therefore, we should understand the ultimate goal of life to develop the love for Krishna. That conjugal love, highest. So in this way, we should understand the different transcendental process of perfection or attaining Krishna, either by dasya rasa, bhakti rasa, but comparatively conjugal love is the highest. in a neutral state. So thank you very much. This discussion is the apex of Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, the highest point of Gaudiya Vaishnava. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is writing this verse. He's writing this in purport that this conversation is the highest philosophy. In this purport, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is writing that so Chaitanya Prabhupada is writing very nice. For the general public, Sankirtan is the most effective method to awaken Krishna consciousness. If possible, one should discuss principles enunciated in Bhagavad Gita. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu followed this principle very strictly and discussed the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita with learned scholars like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Prakashananda Saraswati. However, he taught the principle of bhakti cult to students like Sanātana Gosvāmī and Rūpa Gosvāmī. And he discussed with Śrī Rāmānanda Rāya topmost devotional dealing between Krishna and Gopi. But general populace performs Sankirtan very vigorously. We must also follow this principle in preaching Krishna consciousness all over. So this is the highest dealing, highest apex of Gaudiya philosophy. Radha Krishna, so thank you very much. The ultimate goal is to try to develop love of Godhead by practicing sadhana bhakti, regulating principle of bhakti under the guidance of the Rūpa, one of the spiritual master. In this way, we can make sure to the stage of prabhu bhakti, which is ecstatic love of God. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Śrīla Prabhupada.